Hey, I thought I might as well start off another video, because I thought I might as well do another review, seeing as I haven't done a review game review in a while. But I picked up Resident Evil 7 on Friday last week, and yeah, might as well talk about it. So before the game came out, like when it was first announced and talked about and stuff like that, I was very concerned. I was very worried at the fact that at first glance, it wasn't a Resident Evil game. It felt like just a haunted mansion sort of style game. Now, don't get me wrong, the first game was like that, but it focused on zombies and it focused on that sort of thing. And anyway, so I sat there and I thought, oh, I don't know, like it looks like it's going to be a very scary game, and I'm not saying that it's not going to be good, but I was very frightened that it mightn't be a Resident Evil game. So, and for the people that haven't played it yet, and for the people that were like me and probably still are a bit cautious on buying it, buy it. Fucking buy the game today if you can. If not, well, as soon as you have the cash, you will not regret it. My God, I have been talking. I finished it earlier today, and I have not stopped talking about it. It is one. It is one of the best games I have dropped already this year. It is Game of the Year contender straight away. I have nothing but good things to say about it, and geez, where do I start? Like, the game pretty much focuses around the Baker family. You got the father, Jack. You've got the mother. I can't pronounce her name, but her name starts with a letter M. I know it's a fucking horrible thing to do in a review. It's fucking yeah. You got the mother, and then you got the son named Lucas. Now these three, and the main, you play the character named Ethan that's got a message from his wife that's been missing for 3 years, saying to him, that she's in trouble. Anyway, so he ends up going off to look for her in this mansion because that was the last place she was at. Anyway, he turns up there and just everything just goes to shit. Instantly, but fairly close to instantly. Anyway, and the whole game was about just fighting off this Baker family, finding out all these things that are going on in their house, and all this story and history and and law, Resident Evil law, actually really working with the story. Now, for the first, probably for the first, all the Baker family stuff is more of your average sort of horror mansion sort of game with a bit of Resident Evil backstory and a bit of lore in it as you're going on. But when it gets into those final moments and the final parts of the game, it really starts to unfold and really starts to explain that this is a Resident Evil game. I was so shocked of how well this worked. Oh man, I can't say anything. I had probably maybe one gripe with it, and there was maybe one plot hole, and one of the Baker family's characters' story wasn't really resolved like the two of the others in the game, and I think that's the only gripe I have. The gameplay's perfect. It scares the living shit out of me, which I loved a bit. I thought, you know what, I don't even know whether I'm going to be able to actually complete it. But because the story was so engaging, the characters were so interesting, and just the gameplay was so fun and fluent, it worked. the whole game worked. I I can't say really much negative about it. The game itself has been nothing but like at the moment, because even though I finished today, I want to put it back in again and play it again. Put myself through that torture again. Like, the scares are fucking there. They are. And I think another reviewer said it perfect when he said that it's like when Silent Hills got cancelled. Resident Evil turned around and said, how about we make a game just to sort of, give the people what they could have had. And that's what they've done. In a really good way. Silent Hills would have been a little more weird. But this Resident Evil 7 is amazing. It has nothing but, and the one thing, like, the scares, I have never been this scared in a video game in my life. Now, I don't mind playing the occasional horror game if they're good. Like, I've played through the whole Dead Space series. I like Dead Space 3 as much as a lot of people did give it a little bit of flack. The ending wasn't good with that, though, but the game itself was okay and it was functioning. But, and what else is there? You got The Condemned as well, which was okay. What else? The Forest. The Forest is fucking scares the shit out of me, but it's never scared me as much as this game has. And that's a good thing. If you're going for horror real, scare factor, this is it. The whole time I was on edge. My whole spine and my whole back was so, shaking like a leaf. And, sweating and, to the point where it was shaking that hard and I was so tense and so scared that something else was going to happen that, my neck started to kink and stuff because of how I was shaking while holding my controller trying to go through the game and giving me headache just because I'm so scared. I'm waiting for this to happen. I've never had a game make me feel that scared in my life. Never. And they've pulled it off. Perfect. I can't praise that part enough. And the best things about it, like when you're going through the characters as well, Jack, the father, he's the brute force sort of type. He just comes face to face with you. He doesn't sneak around or anything like that. He'll just walk straight up towards you. He wouldn't fuck you. He doesn't give a fuck. He's more of a brute force sort of character. And then you got the mother, Marguerite is her name, I'm pretty sure. And she turns around. She's very sneaky and she's very sly and she's very. Oh, she's a bitch. I fucking hate her. She is the one you get a lot of the scares from. She's the one that makes you really feel sick to your stomach, as well as scares the fuck out of you. She's the one that brings that terror. That character was done perfect. The son, Lucas, his style was more playing games with people, playing mind games with people, playing other little games with people, and watching him for his own entertainment, and watching them watching them and making them think that they've done well, and in the end they've fucked up. So then again, it was a fucking amazing game. And as I said, I can't say anything worse about it. As I said, there's the two things, and that was it, really. But, it was, but by far, the best, this game has done wonders. Now, and there was parts in the game when, like, a couple of critics have said it, and I agree, where there's this something in the game that you always come across, and you sit there and you look at it and you go, right, like he's popping up, and you sit there and go, why the fuck are you there? Like, what the fuck? It scared me out of fucking no reason. It's just fucking. And you sit there and wonder and go, right, okay, that wouldn't surprise me if you'll get to verse it later, and yeah, you do. So it was kind of a bit of a giveaway, and I think there was only and again another two more things. There was two other things that did get kind of predictable. If you know it's coming, like if you really follow the story as it goes on, you will see where I'm getting at. Especially with the end of the first boss fight. I'll give you a hint. After you finish the first boss fight, and then when you do the second big boss fight with the Baker family members, right? Notice how they die. It may be a spoiler, but it will help you out in some ways. For me, I picked it up pretty quick, but then again, you know, some other people probably wouldn't. But so I'm sorry if it was a spoiler, but yeah, nah. But the game, I don't know what else I could say. The voice acting was perfect. Ethan doesn't really have much dialogue, but the voice actor still knocked it out of the park with what he's done. You know, he did it. The script was straightforward for him, straight to the point. Did his job perfect. The one for the father, he's menacing. The one for the one that did the mother, fuck you, that's scary. And Lucas, he was all right. He was meant to be a creep, and he sounded and felt creepy, so that was done perfect. Now, who else? And yeah, well, the rest of the cast did a fine job. One thing I will say, one game design that I did like, was the videotapes. The videotapes was the best thing ever. It explained so much of the story of what's to come and what's to happen next, and to help you sort of progress through the story. Same as some of the files and stuff like that they've taken from other Resident Evil games, sort of telling you and helping you along with your gameplay and helping you get past certain sections. And these tapes are also, because you take these tapes to your safe houses, like safe rooms and stuff, or some of them are safe rooms, but anyway, you take them to them and you put the tape in and you watch the tape, and it's also interactive too, so you're also playing the character as you're watching the tape. Now, it was a great design, great, perfect idea, and it enriched the story and everything like that. So I highly recommend you also read as many as the files as possible, watch as many many tapes as possible. I sadly didn't get to find that many. I did hunt them, but some of them are really in some pretty, secretive spots, and you've got to really look. Now, my eyesight's no good, so sometimes I'm just not very good at fucking noticing it. But I highly recommend you do. It is by far one of the best features as well. I'm trying to remember if I'm missing anything else, and yes, there is a character that comes in. There is a character in the game that is from the other games. I won't say who. But in my opinion, it did sort of make sense when that character came in. At the time, that character did. And I think they only brought this character in to set up mainly DLC and maybe a sequel. So, in my personal opinion, if Ethan's story ended in this way, I'm pretty satisfied. But I have a funny feeling they have sort of left it open. In my opinion, I think they've left it open that his story's not quite over. but they might be able to make maybe one more sequel with him. But if they're going to go along with the line with this storyline, I don't know if they're going to. I don't know if they're going to go do another Haunted Mansion sort of thing. But if they stick it to this format, I'm happy. So Capcom has brought back their signature franchise, and I'm so happy they have. 6 was such a disappointment. 5 was meh. 4 was excellent. 3 I wasn't a huge fan of. And 2 was amazing, and the 1 was amazing. So in my personal opinion, if I had to rate them from Resident Evil games, not including the spin-offs, right, it would be the first one at the top, second one underneath, the fourth one, and the fifth, and the rest of them just underneath. Like, it's up there with the best Resident Evil games of all time. But the only reason why I'm talking about it so much now is because it's been so long since we've had a really good Resident Evil game. I'm so pumped, I'm so happy, I'm so grateful, I just can't believe I have played this amazing game. I've had such an amazing experience. The game, probably one other minor problem I have with the game, it was short. It took me 6 hours to finish it. That, and also too, I did find and read a huge chunk of the files and stuff. So tapes, not really. I think if I found all the tapes and did all the tapes, it might go to about 8 to 10 hours maybe. But I thoroughly said. But all these little things that I've said that I've found that are faults with the game are very, very, very minor. Very minor. But I highly recommend, if you like horror, or if you're a true Resident Evil fan, like my next door neighbour, he's fucking a massive Resident Evil fan, and his console's crapped itself, and he can't play it, and he doesn't have the money to buy it. Poor bugger. So, if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's Game of the Year contender by miles. If this game doesn't at least get Best Horror Game of the Year, I'll be surprised. Like some people said, I said as well, and some other people have said there are other horror games coming out this year that are third party, which do look very good. But it's going to have some tough competition. Very tough competition. Because good luck trying to top that. So, yeah, buy the game. Buy it. You know, and don't be one of those parents that sit there and buy this game for your kids and go, games are for children. This one's not for your children. No. No, not by miles. But as I said, if you are a huge fan of Resident Evil, if you are a huge fan of horror games, or just horror in general, and you want to, or just a fan of a really, really good story, this is worth picking up. I spent $80 in the game. It was money worth spent. You know, there's still reasons for me to replay this game time and time again. So it encourages multiple playthroughs, and I'm enjoyed those, and I'm going to enjoy those multiple playthroughs in the future. So yeah, that's my small review of Resident Evil 7. Even though it's gone for about 20 minutes. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. One thing before I go, I've started streaming. Yay! Streaming! Hear my fucking ugly voice and my horrible bloody gameplay. Mainly been streaming on Twitch, and been streaming on your PlayStation at the moment. I'll probably occasionally stream on my Xbox at the moment till I get some parts of my PC. As soon as that happens, I'll be streaming on there too. So I was streaming Resident Evil 7 actually when I was playing it. So I probably should have posted a video stating that I was streaming it at the time. So, but next time, I'll hopefully be able to let you guys know when I'm doing it. Next, I normally try and stream once a day. But seeing as I've got so many friends jumping in every 5 minutes when we play this and that, this and that, this and that, this and that, it's a bit hard because I have to change my stream every 5 minutes. Go back on the air every 5 minutes trying to change each game and stuff. It's just a nightmare. So, I'll let you guys know straight off the bat what I mainly will stream. I will stream any new game, or most new games that I want to play, that I want to give a shot, and when I can afford them. So when I get them, I will most likely stream most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. So I'll be streaming new games that I personally would like to play and see what they're like. But regularly, I will be streaming Division. Regularly, I will be streaming Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Regularly, I might be streaming Titanfall 2 when I play it. Battlefield 1, or any Battlefield game in general. Rainbow Six Siege, I'm starting to get into a bit on PS4, which is a bit shit. I prefer it on PC by miles. And maybe a bit of Final Fantasy, but seeing as I'm a really bad Final Fantasy player, I really don't want to be picked on for it. So, yes. So what I might do is, because I do have Dishonored 2. Hold on. I still got to play and finish. I've still got to play and finish this. I haven't even started it yet, but I have it. People have been telling me it's good. I did like the first one as much as I was kind of disappointed with it. I was kind of expecting more with it, but I'm hoping this will be a good game. So, all right. So yes, I will try and get the link for my stream for my Twitch account. I'll put it in the description, and if you guys would like to follow me, you're more than welcome to. Just so you can get your notifications. Yeah. So if you'd like to do that, you're more than welcome to. All right. I hope to see you guys on my stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Resident Evil 7. I will try and do a little bit more reviews in the future, maybe a little more high quality, and maybe not on a mobile phone camera with me in a singlet top. It's Australia in the middle of summer, and I'm sweating like a pig, and it's hot, and I'm fat. Okay, guys, I hope you have a good one, and I hope you all keep on gaming, and if you're from Australia, please keep cool. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy.